It says you are live. I am live, they say. I bathe for you people. I hope you at least show up. Duh. Gonna give it a minute, see who shows up. Test, test, test. My mic says it's going. Can you hear me? You like the whitewash look? Here, I can do that. I bathe for you people. It was, and that's why I was late. I was like, you know what? They can't smell me, but I can. I wanted to be able to see you guys. Or rather, yeah. I am going to tell everybody that I'm here. And yes, I'm late. You can yell at me later. But yeah. Let me just make this adjustment. Edit. I hope you're having. I hope you're doing well. Give me one quick second, a few people. Edit. I am live. Come on. Exclamation point, exclamation, three exclamation points. Okay. Done. That's on my Facebook. Oh, I'm not going to worry about Instagram. Hey guys. All right. Nobody's here. Awesome. Nobody's here. That's fine. All right. So while we wait a smidge longer, YouTube, someone sent me a message. There you go. I'm going to do a screen capture of that. Nope. Okay. Hey, everybody. I don't know. I see that I have one person. I'm just going to go with it. First off, hey, everyone. My name is Monica. This is Monkaboo Projects, and this is a Wednesday work in progress video. It's one of those things where I actually got a message from one of my viewers. Let's see, what's their names? Samuel, Lisa, something like that. Will there be more videos soon? And the very short and simple answer is yes, absolutely. If you're not following me on Facebook or Instagram, you're missing out. That's kind of where I kind of keep everybody up to date what's going on. And then YouTube is where I kind of produce things and put it out into the world. So if you're wondering what I've been up to, let's get into it. So I'm starting a new series on my channel. It's one of those things where, let's see, at the end of October, I was like still making YouTube videos and it was kind of fairly okay, constant. And then I made something. And I actually have a YouTube friend that it kind of called me out on it, but it's like, hi, hey Dutch. So yeah, it was one of these things where something happened at the end of October, early November, and I made something. It was a very, very rushed job, but I knew not to get into too much YouTube lingo, but I knew it was going to be a tent pole kind of event, and so I rushed it, and it wasn't remotely anything that I was proud of, but I knew I was going to get a lot of views, and I did get a lot of views, and I hated myself for it. But shortly after that, shortly after that, my work has started sending me off to different work sites to help migrate my office. I work in IT. I work for a law firm. So they were sending me out to a bunch of different offices and traveling. And I literally started traveling right in the middle of November. And then the holiday happened. And then a couple weeks in December. And then Christmas happened, New Year's. And pretty much all of January and a good chunk of February, I was traveling. Like, legit, leave on Thursday, get to where I was Thursday night, go into the office Friday, start meeting folks there and getting equipment ready, work that entire weekend, and then leave midday Monday to get home to then work the rest of that week. So don't get me wrong. The PTO, I have paid off a couple of the like credit cards that have been bothering me for years. Yeah, that part was awesome. But I gotta tell you something. I'm not sure if any of you are like this, but I get weird when it comes to when you don't make something after a period of time. I get like, I hate to call it this, but I get like an ache. Like I really want to be creative, for me, doing this is actually a de-stressor. So yeah, the fact that I couldn't do that for so long, it bothered me. But now, it was weird because we did all these migrating jobs and whatnot, and then my office got migrated, and I kid you not, like less than 24 hours later, they're like, hey, you know all that equipment that you just pulled out of other people's offices? Yeah, we need you to wipe those and re-image them so you can give them out to, I work for a law firm, so I gave them out to LAAs and paralegals and people who worked in records and people who worked in like the office administrative stuff. Like I had to give out old equipment to other people just so they can work from home. I mean, that's how quickly this happened. So with all that said and done, and I don't know if you can see it, but that is actually my workstation for work. Now everything's said and done. I'm here at the house the majority of the time. And you would think I'd be knocking out projects, but I know I'm not. I still have to do my job. But with that said, though, I take breaks. I do things. And I have been slowly but surely just filming certain projects. Like right now, there's like 2.5 projects right here. Well, let me back up. Right now, I am working on a series on my channel. I have been a Ghostbuster I've been dressing up like a Ghostbuster doing charity work for almost 10 years now. And the group that I help out with on occasion, they usually have something going on at Comic-Con. And this year was supposed to be a big Ghostbuster year where the new movie that was supposed to come out in July that got bumped to next year in March was going to come out, and Comic-Con was going to be in May. And I was actually working on building a proton pack and videoing all of that for you guys to see. And there was like a lot of stuff, but there was a lot of stress going on because we had to build things and all that. But then the pause happened, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, I have a ton of time to go build that pack because they postponed it to September. So until then, I'm going to do something that I have been wanting to do for quite some time. And that is just to do a video series on how to make a GB1 theme, a Ghostbuster 1 themed flight suit gear setup. We'll talk about the pack and all that at a much, much later time. But right now, I'm just going to show everybody how to make, how to choose like different flight suits. Here's the thing. There are people who come into this fandom, and yes, it is a fandom and whatnot. There are people who have the money to go and buy the most expensive stuff that's out there. And yeah, they're going to look great, but they spent a lot of money to get that look, that quality. But here's the thing. Depending on your skill set, your time, what you're trying to accomplish, you can get really, really good results at a fraction of the cost. That is probably one of the coolest things about this fandom. You don't have to be super duper accurate to do something fun. If you want to dress up as a Ghostbuster for Halloween, you do that. But if you're cheap. But here's the thing. There are things that you can do to produce like really good quality things. You're just going to have to take time. So really the series, the reason why I wanted to do the series mainly was because every time I would do like a prop panel for Comic-Con or Fan Fusion or whatever you want to call it now, it was one of these things where I had to verbally just kind of tell folks, but I didn't really have a PowerPoint presentation. And here's the thing. Every time I did those prop panels, people would come up, 90% they would talk about the proton pack, which is totally cool and I totally get it. But about 5% was like the goggles, the PKE meter, and the trap. And the other 5% was, believe it or not, the uniform. People wanted to know, where did you get your suit? Where did you get your patches? Where did you get all the accoutrement on yourself, like, where did you get that? And how did you make it? And things like that. And I've always kind of wanted to make a series. Like, look, it's not hard. Yes, you can spend stupid money and get really great stuff, or you can take your time and make sometimes even better stuff. So that's kind of what I am doing. And right now I'm trying to get a few episodes, a few things in the can first before I start sending out videos. So to answer Samuel's question, when am I going to be releasing videos? Soon, very, very soon. Right now I have about, like I said, like on that counter alone, it's about 1.5 projects. Let's talk about a few of the things that I'm working on. Hold on. First off, here are all the flight suits that I own right now. I am going to do a video explaining, what are the pros and cons about the different flight suits that are offered in the United States. There are tricks of the trade on how to darken them, lighten them, things like that. I'm going to tell you how to sew, where to get your patches, where to sew them on, or even how to sew them on. Do you realize just how many people buy patches solely because you can iron them on? You're nuts. It's really super simple. So I'm trying to teach folks certain skills, and even if you know everything, that's fine, but you might learn something. You know what I mean? So yeah, like starting out with flight suits, and on every good flight suit, you have P-hose connectors. So I actually 3D modeled this off of photos of a screen used P-hose connector. I want to make one more adjustment and then it's done, and then I'm going to print it. And I'm going, I actually talked to my Smooth On rep, and they gave me some suggestions on what to buy. So here's the thing. You can 3D print them and try sewing it on your suit. You can do another method of, okay, so say you don't have a 3D printer. That's fine. I'm going to show you how to make one with a door stopper and a chair, like a little chair floor non-scraper thing. You marry those two together, they're fairly similar. I'm going to show you how to do that. Actually, that's my very first P-hose connector. It was this setup. So yeah, I have iron-on patches, keep them in place, then stitch them to keep them there. That works too. But I want to show people other methods. Like, yes, you can absolutely do that. But then there's the Velcro option, which is something I actually implement. Some people don't want to do that. But I'm going to discuss the pros and cons dealing with the suit. I'm making key fobs. I'm making belt gizmos. I actually, on my Facebook page, again, if you're not following me on Facebook or Instagram, what are you doing? I found, now here's the thing. The very first item I made for my first flight suit was a belt gizmo. And this is what that is. This is basically this is someone's version of an old ass calculator from the 80s, right? I forget the model. It's like 8088C1 or something like that. They're very rare to find. And if you do find them, they're stupid money. It's like $400 for an old ass calculator that you're going to take apart. So if that's something you want to do, go for it. But there's people out there who are making really, really good replicas. You can go that route. Again, you can spend lots of money to get something that's, if not the exact same thing that they used in the film, but something very, very similar, like Sponge Face's belt gizmo. He made it. Adam Savage untested. He actually built his own version. I don't believe they're available anymore, but still, that kit, which was a gorgeous kit, was like $250. If you're doing this for charity or you're just getting ready for Halloween, I'm going to show you different ways that you can kind of get past that stigma of it has to be super accurate. I'm going to show you a bunch of different ways. And that's what this series is going to be about. You don't have to be super rich to look really freaking awesome at either Halloween, at your next Comic-Con, or whatever charity event that you're going to be working. Velcro and sew. Velcro is best so you don't ruin the patch in the wash. It's like you've heard me say that before, Dutch. Can you see? Can you use an old video PC card? Why not? There is nothing wrong with that. There are those people that are, I hate to use this word elitist, because even I kind of get a little eye twitchy when someone comes at me with something and saying, well, mine is just like yours. It's like, there are times that I kind of get a little twitchy, but for me, if you're doing this for charity, actual, like you're dressing up to do something good in the world and you're doing actual charity work, I don't care what you come in, as long as you're there and your heart's in the right place. You come and dress up however you want, leave the ashless chaps at home. But my point is, if you're trying to dress up like a Ghostbuster and all you have is an old video card, like not even a true flight suit, but more like one of the coveralls, those kind of things, I don't care. Come, have fun. Eventually, I mean, I've been doing this for almost 10 years, and I've seen people come in with, not, again, not flight suits and actual belts they use for like framing walls and stuff like that. I've seen so many props with a ton of hot glue that melts in the Arizona sun. I've seen so many different things, and that's totally fine. Eventually, those people upgraded their gear slowly but surely, and that's fine. If you're somebody who has the money, I'm going to show you how to do some of that stuff too. So that's kind of what I'm working on. And right now I have about, like I said, at least 2 or 3 things kind of in the can. I just need to edit and whatnot, but I want to have a couple more so I can be consistent for the next, I'm hoping, I don't want to give it an exact date, but it's soon. It's really, really super soon. I'm actually waiting for a few more things to come through, but right now, for this year, if you are into Ghostbuster stuff, my channel is going to be your go-to. I'm going to be making, there's a lot of ghosts. Again, this year was going to be all about Ghostbusters because of the new movie. The new movie was going to come out, and I was hoping to kind of build off of that. But now not so much. But that's okay. I still want to do it because I'm excited to do it. And like I said, if you're kind of new coming into this little story, this long-winded story, I literally did, the last thing I really did, I hated that I did it. Like genuinely, if it didn't have the most views on my channel, I would delete it. Honestly, I don't like it. It made me feel icky. So, anyways, let's see. What else am I? So I talked about the belt gizmos. I talked about all the stuff that goes on the belt. I'm debating whether or not to, because I've never done it before, I'm debating whether or not to make an actual holster, like a leather holster for the, so I have an actual Motorola, what is it, MT500? I actually have a real one, and I actually,
get down here right away. Just went into a ballroom.
so I put in a sound chip in there, and the thing is, I have a holster for this thing. I never wear it in my regular carry when I do events, but I was wondering, like, would anybody want to see how to make a holster in leather? I don't know if that's like a thing that somebody would really want me to do, or should I just make it and do like a non-commentary sort of video and put it up on Instagram? I'm really kind of curious, like, what kind of things do you want to see me make for the uniform? Because though I can make a video on all of the things, not everyone's going to be interested in all the things per se. The holster for a spirit radio, it's the same darn thing. But I don't have a spirit radio. I might have to find somebody who has one and do some measurements. But because with the real MT500s, there's the short guys, and then you got the longer ones. I don't know. I kind of want to play. See, this is me. I'm excited. I have time to work on projects, and yeah. The only downside, truly, to all of this is the mail. If I need something, it takes anywhere from a week or two for anything to get to me. Actually, shoot, I can't say that. Why? Because for those of you who are following me on Facebook and Instagram, you probably saw some photos of some really pretty colored cable and this big honkin' roll of what is it? Heat shrink tape. So long story short, again, I was getting ready to make a proton pack for a local nonprofit here in Phoenix. And there's like 4 things I always end up buying for a proton pack. A light kit, a ribbon cable, a bumper. I don't know. The shock mount. So everything else I can make. I have no problems making everything else. I hate making the bumper, and I hate making, well, you can make your own shock mount, but that's a whole nother video. Anyways, I want to make a GB1 cable. It seems like every 3 to 5 years, there's always that one guy who makes a really good one and everyone goes to him. And right now there is a guy out there in the community that he's the go-to guy. The thing is, it's to me, I don't think it's that hard to make one. So why not try to make one? And why not show people how to make one? Plus, I need to replace mine. I live and work in the desert, and my proton pack, I bought one about 5 years ago, and the seams on the tape have finally failed, and now I just got loose wires laying around. It just looks like a ghost went in and went. So yeah, let's catch up with everybody. Holster for Spirit, I do. You can borrow my Spirit radio. Aw, thanks, Setch. I will do that. I will do that and see, because if anything, I can make one for my radio and then do a template not only for the actual MT500s, but also the Spirit radios and see how that goes. Can definitely relate to unedited video. Yeah. I got a few more. My arm patch is sewn. My name tag is Velcro. Very curious to see the alternate methods. Well, you just have to make sure that you're subscribed and don't forget to check that notification bell. Oh, God. Oh, I sound horribly like a YouTube douche. Anyways. Let's see. What else is going on? Working on a bunch of things. So I am working on the series, but I am working on other projects that are not necessary. Well, they are related. Some of them are related to Ghostbuster stuff. Like I'm finally sitting down and modeling up the cuffs for the reboot group. Let's see. Again, I have all these different P-cup, P-hose connectors. I have a bunch of different things like that. I'm actually working with, okay, so I have a 3D printer, yes, but there's a material that I've never worked with, which is called PETG or PETG. Never worked with it. I finally got a roll from Matter Hackers. They're like completely out of material, and I can't wait for them to be restocked. But anyways, I'm going to start making stuff that is supposed to be hardcore. And also, one of the things I'm really super excited about making is, yes, I have models for wands and whatnot for the proton pack, but also I want to design something. So there's that like lever that, sticks the tip out of the wand and all that. I actually want to make one. I've never made one I've made at least 7 proton packs from beginning to end just for myself. I've helped well over 20 plus people with their packs, and I have never ever made that mechanism, and I totally want to make one. And I want to make one where I can release the files out there so people can go make their own, and having PETG in my arsenal, I can make those and it won't melt in my wands. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. Of course, I'm subscribed. Ooh, yes, vibrate that bell. Let's see. Is there? I think I answered that question, and I've answered. I asked you a few questions. I got some answers. Thank you. Also, again, there's going to be like a little bit like, yes, I'm going to be releasing videos, but also I've decided I want to kind of build up my following on Instagram. So you might see me build stuff on this channel, of course, but I will probably refer to my Instagram channel a little bit more because I'm going to start doing little build videos on there just to see if anything is going to help promote the YouTube channel. And also one more thing, it was like a couple months back, but or at least a month back, that I actually got the very first stepping stone. I have 100 followers, and thank you very much for that. It's one of those things where because of that, I am able to actually make things where like I can put something on my card that says, you know, YouTube/ or youtube.com/Monkaboo projects. You know, people can find my channel easier that way. I actually made a couple of shirts. They should be here. I made some shirts that have all that information on it. Hopefully that will be available, or I mean, for me to wear so it can help promote. So I just, again, this channel is not about the numbers. It's more of a communication. I want to communicate with you folks, and I want you to communicate with me. I like making things, and it's really kind of cool to talk with people who are just as excited as I am about certain projects. So I just want to say, for everyone who's stuck around, I appreciate it, and thank you for your patience. But yeah, just know things are coming together, and yeah, I can't wait to show you what I'm working on. And plus, I have like a secret project, because I have to say that because I'm a YouTuber now, I guess, that I have a secret project that I cannot wait to show you. And it's, yes, it is Ghostbuster related, but it's Ghostbuster Afterlife related. And no, it's not the goggles. There's something bigger coming. So anyway, stick around for that. With that being said, boys and girls, thank you so much for sticking around. I hope I answered some questions. Does everybody have, I'm going to give you like 30 seconds. Is there any other questions or any projects you would like me to tackle? Any subjects you want me to tackle? I would love to hear from you. I'm going to give you a few minutes. I'm going to drink my little bit of water. Anybody? Ooh, can't wait, can't wait. All right. We're coming up to 30 minutes now, so I think I've jabbered enough. Let's see. Weathering the spirit. Ooh, you want me to show you how to weather things? Ooh, I can do that. I could probably do that. Yeah. Thanks, Dutch. Appreciate that. Actually, that's probably one of. I gotta say, again, I've been doing this for a while, and I gotta say, weathering is a technique, and if anything, a skill set, because I don't know how many times where I've seen people work tirelessly, making it super accurate, and it looks gorgeous. Like you just took it out, like Egon had just finished painting it, you know, but then they hit it with a silver pen and they go rogue and they go everywhere. It's like, no, that looks horrible. So yeah, there is definitely a technique, and I'm not saying I'm a pro at that, but I will show you how I do things. Because I typically don't, when I do finish a proton pack, I don't weather it. But that's my personal preference. I've seen and helped other friends weather theirs. Actually, I have a friend. Her name is Esther, and they have a proton pack that we had lovingly dubbed the Dirty Girl. And she wanted a super weathered pack. And it was just crazy, some of the shit that we ended up dumping on this thing, and dust. Like, there was so much dust and grease and goo on this thing that honestly, it was kind of like a running joke where if you did like have to handle it, to do this. And just this cloud of whatever going in a direction of somebody. It was just this running joke. But yeah, we called her pack the dirty girl. More 3D printed stuff. Seems like you can make cool little parts from that. Oh yeah. 3D printing is very addicting. And honestly, okay. Actually, a friend of mine had to talk me down because I was this close of buying a resin $200 3D printer. Oh, not 3D printer, but resin printer. And they talked me out of it, but they sort of talked me out of it. It's one of those, okay, I won't buy it right now, but I do. I want to buy a resin because there are parts on a proton pack and the wand and whatnot and other. It doesn't have to be Ghostbuster related, but there's a ton of props that I am like, I have a list. There's a ton of props that like little tiny things that honestly a filament 3D printer can't really do very well unless you got some serious things that are locked down. And yeah, I have a 300, I think it's a 320, no, $275 Ender 3 Pro 3D printer. It's an awesome printer, especially when everything is tight and good to go. All the things are nice. And you can print some gorgeous, I'm not gonna brag or nothing, but like, I don't know if you can see that, probably not, but this is really pretty for an Ender 3. And I mean, you can see the layer lines, but not much. And that's just because I tightened everything up and I put in a new hot end and all that. So if you want me to design some stuff, act surprised. Act surprised in the next few weeks. Okay, boys and girls, it has now been 30 minutes. Thank you again so much for tagging along. Again, if you have any questions, concerns, or worries, or suggestions, leave them down in the comments below. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. And boys and girls, I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook if you want to see behind the scenes stuff. Until then, see you next time. Bye, guys. Thank you.